You broke but you have game. I can relate.
And your first car is a convertible.
Hey!
I remember being out here in Eswatini for the first time. I think we did a show called Hipnotik. People forget what you say, but people never forget how you made them feel, right? People in corporate want to work with people that are reliable, period. The shooting happens and then it becomes this big media spectacle. Don't just come to be a taker. Serve the game. Yeah, some brews, you can tell from a mile away.
Yeah.
You're going nowhere. Like this is a podcast moment we almost never had. Right?
Shoo!
Yeah.
Imagine. Superstar Rockstar Levol, welcome back to the biggest YouTube channel. But if you haven't subscribed by now, please pause this video, subscribe, pause this video. Now I'm gonna subscribe when done. Subscribe, hit the notification button, comment, and most importantly, share this video. Share this video to everyone. Make sure you tell them we're packed inside, we're in the building. We're out here at Ikleri Store. Ikleri Store is doing it big for the culture. I'm rocking vintage Swatini, Adonis pants, and you know the vibes. We're out here in Manzini. Check us out on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Get our numbers there, and you know, come see us last stall initially around Bafethu. Land us, you know the vibes. Bafethu, Jengenjoylo being you fire guest, and this guest that I have right now, Jengobangshito, Bafethu. Hey, I don't even know what to do. The chance we're here, a standing ovation, Lanak salute, and all of that because of the things that he's done for the culture and still doing for the culture. And as a youngin, I grew up looking up to him, and I know you guys probably don't know who I'm talking about because you're gonna be shocked, just like I'm surprised. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Khuli Chana in the building. My brother, we have to take it from the top. I'm already hot. I'm ready. I was born ready.
How would you guys pull it off? You know I don't podcast much, right?
When I was doing my research, I was like, bro, Khuli, I've never seen Khuli on an interview. I've never seen Khuli on a podcast. Yeah. You're just one person that's known for what you do, and you always lay low.
Yeah.
Appreciate that about you.
Yeah, you know, I think I come from that school, you know, the era where everybody kind of let the work, speak for itself, you know what I mean? But it's a new era, and I kind of like this era, you know what I mean? But for me, I think the podcast thing has always been like, okay, cool. I will get on that podcast run when I know I've got, I've either dropped something, I'm running with something, some product, and then, maybe I'll consider it. Yeah.
Aye, bro.
Yeah, bro.
We're so lucky to have you on set. And I was thinking about a lot of stuff that I wanted to ask you, but at the same time I was like, no, let me relax because you might not decide last minute and pull a superstar, rockstar move on us and tell us, guys, actually I've made up my mind, I'm not coming. So I was just like, hey, I wanted to think about it, but I didn't want to think about it too much until it happened.
Who did that to you? So it's happened a couple times.
Oh, it happens a lot, bro. It's just that we never get to talk about it, but it happens.
Yeah.
Sometimes you shoot a podcast with someone, then we end up not dropping. It's life.
Damn. Yeah.
It's life.
That must be hard. Yeah.
You said life begins at 40 at Prada when you did that shocking.
Yeah.
I can tell.
Yeah.
I can tell. How's 40 looking?
Depends on how you're saying it. So you're like, I can tell. That's a nice I can tell. Right?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Cool.
I got you. No, man, that was intentional, bro. Because I could tell you something about, coming up in hip hop. From the time you hit 26, you start hearing guys calling you Grootman at 26. At 30, it's like umdala, all right? So for me, it was just like, shit, you gotta be intentional and you have to be one of those brews who embrace your age, right? Right? Yeah, and you gotta do it for the 40-year-olds that are still hanging around clubs trying to, act like they're 20, or who are not open about their age because, the ageism in hip hop is a real thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, and also it was just celebrating my life, man. Like, damn, it's kind of better up here.
Yo.
Yeah, man.
You spoke about you didn't want to come to podcast or didn't rather want to do it much until you have something going on. So what's happening in Khuli's life right now? What projects are you up to, if you're comfortable with saying that? What have you been up to lately?
So right now I'm in the beauty and wellness space. I'm running a brand called Oriflame from Sweden, and
Ach.
we fresh in, yeah.
Ach.
We fresh in
Shout
South
out.
right now. I mean, it's a challenge. It's a huge shift for me, right? And yeah, that's where we at right now. And I love the fashion, So
Thank you.
we're working on that too. Shout out to Claire.
Shout out to Ikleri Store.
Shout out to Ikleri. I was asking you earlier what inspired the name.
Hey, the brew that owns the shop is not here.
Yeah.
It's the dreadlocks guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so he's supposed to come here
And break it
shout out
down to us.
Shout out to Spider, yeah.
Yeah, man. So Oriflame is all about, community. It's a call it a plug and play business, right? For anybody who's interested, you literally have the business on the palm of your hand, and then you have this network of people in about 60 countries all over. You know what I mean? So when I got introduced to it, I don't know if you remember when I used to do, when I was still a brand ambassador for Absolut.
I was gonna get there.
Back in the
I was
day.
gonna get there. That was the heaviest rollout I've ever seen. I think you guys did an album, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
did
yeah.
a show.
We did a festival, we did a bottle, we did an album, we put out a film. It was crazy.
That was unheard
Yeah.
of, bro. Shout out to you. I wanted to ask you about that, but now, okay, finish your point.
Yeah.
Then we're gonna get to Absolut because I want you to help us tap into the business side of things because you've always been that, bro.
Yeah. The CEO of Absolut then.
No, we're gonna get to Absolut.
Yeah. I'm getting
Okay,
to
it's
this,
fine, it's fine.
to this shift,
Okay,
right?
yeah.
Became the CEO of Oriflame, and her and I started chatting around, I think, COVID,
Okay.
And we kept in touch. And I was like, you know what, I'm looking to pivot. It's time for me to be a beginner at something. I want something new, right? Because I've worked with a lot of brands, and I think I've got a great talent in storytelling when it comes to brands, and also just expanding whatever idea or concept that they throw at me. You know what I mean? We did it with KFC, where it started out as that Natubawe now
Yes.
advert, and then it went on to become a headliner sponsor at my festival, Maftown Heights. You know what I mean? So you bring me like a 1-year deal. I can stretch it to about 3 years, and yeah, man, and this challenge, and then she was like, listen, I think I got something for you. Are you interested in making some bread, some money in the beauty and wellness? So I'm like, yo, depends. How are we gonna, let's check it out. And then she's like, yo, come to Rome. We've got this amazing launch for one of our fragrances. And then come check out the lab in Sweden. And bro, that changed my life. Yeah.
Shout out, bro. And we haven't even touched on the music side, of which is something that you were introduced to us as.
Yeah.
So I want us to take it from the top, bro. I know they said something about 30 minutes. Me, I don't see that 30 minutes happening, bro. I don't even want to lie to you.
Yeah, I gotta go. Let's rock.
Let's take it back, bro. Who's Khuli Chana? Where did the whole thing start? Because I remember, if I'm not mistaken, you were part of a group by the name of what's the name of the group again?
Morafi.
Morafi. It's still there. Still there.
One of the guys in the room.
I saw him.
Yeah.
I saw him. I was like,
KG, yeah.
it was Mo and the other guy. What's his name? I'm forgetting.
Cody.
But the question that I wanted to ask is that I from some show I heard there were like 20 people part of that group. How true is that?
Yeah, originally, so Morafi was Double HP's vision, right? So it was like, so imagine if you decide, you want to start a movement of rappers Eswatini, you know what I mean? And they would become Morafi. So that was his vision, So he wanted to start a movement with all the musicians from the Northwest. And that did not come together. And at that point in our, in our lives, or call it, I mean, it wasn't even a career then. We were transitioning from rapping in English to Motswako. And we thought, damn, okay, we're going to keep this name. for ourselves, you know, and that's how we became Morafi. So we got the name from WHP. Originally was myself, Mulimi, who's my cousin, Toady Mac, who's my cousin, and KG, who's my childhood friend. KG and Toady went to primary school together. They boys from there. KG lives 2 houses away from my house. So, you know, it's a family business, you know?
Keeping in the family.
It's a family business. And then, and yeah, man. And we were led by WHP, like fresh out of high school, took a gap year and decided to pursue the music, you know? And this is after, you know, the folks said, hey, we can't afford to take you to AAA. I wanted to study advertising. So it's no surprise that I ended up working with so many brands. I've always had a love for advertising and, you know, and brands. Yeah, man. And yeah, the journey started with Jabba in the early 2000s and man, changed my life. Yeah.
So now, when okay, I'll get to the part where I want to ask where did you decide to pursue a solo career from the group?
Yeah.
So please break it down for us, the Mutswako, because like we are Swatis bro.
Yeah.
What's Mutswako? Is it a language? Is it a movement? Because you like your first album.
Yeah.
Mutswako originator.
Mutswako is a Setswana rap movement.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Pioneered by Tswana rappers. Right. But actually, you know, it meant different things to, you know, like it meant something else to me. Like, for instance, you know, for me, it was a sense of belonging. My name, Krengren Kikulani. It's a Nguni name. And then surname is Murule. Mutswako is a mix, right? So for me, it meant that. It was just like, okay, I grew up in Mabatu, in Mafikeng, back when it was still homelands, when it was Puputa Tswana, so it was like a Tswana land, right? So if you were Kulani back then, trust me, bro, you would stand out.
Okay.
If you were Swati back then, everybody would know you because you're the only one with that name, you know, because everybody is Tolo, Lebogang,
Yes.
Palesa, you know, it's like, so for me, Mutswako gave me that, but what it means is a mix. And how actually we caught on the name Mutswako was Stone of Bongo Muffin.
I see Stone.
On a joint where he said something for this year Mutswako or something like that. But he had to come up with a word for remix in Setswana, and he called that Mutswako. But somebody took it and he made a genre out of it.
Yo, bro, that's crazy. That's crazy.
So you feel me, yeah. And then after Stone came my big bro, Prof, and another bro called Blacksmith, and they started Buffy Khuli. And these are guys who were, you know, touring with Kalawa, and you know what I mean. And this is the guy who introduced me to rap. Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna tell us the story. The name of the show, by the way, is What's the Story. So right now, the things that you're dropping like heavy stuff that we didn't even have knowledge about. And like I said, for us, even youngins that are coming up to see how you guys have been doing the stuff.
Yeah.
So would you say, so everyone that raps in Tswana is a Motsakoist? What do you call it?
Motsakolista.
Motsakolista. Like Mo Casper.
Yeah, I mean, Casper's cut from that cloth, you know, of Motswako. But you know what? You know the thing I love about this thing of ours is that it always takes shape. You know, the guys who become really successful is the guys that come in and expand it. You know what I'm saying? Like Casper came up in this movement, but he went and built something much more bigger. You know what I mean? He took it to the arenas. You know what I mean? When Jabba came in, he introduced the game to Morafi, Mulimi, then came Dukes, then came Casper. I mean, it's a lot of us, right? Then you've got Madlera, who's taking it to another, you know, who's bringing in that Sesotho. But he's, you know, and that Madlera is actually a place. It's in the northwest province. It's called Klerksdorp.
Okay.
Madlera, and he represents that movement, but he's cut from this cloth, you know. He comes from this lineage, Motswako, you know. Yeah.
The first album drops, Khuli Chana.
Yeah.
We introduced to him like globally.
Yeah.
Globally.
Yeah.
Globally. The first album you dropped.
Yeah.
That was the Motswako Originator. Ne?
Yeah.
Sure, bro. I remember this movement. Bro.
Yeah.
I was telling the guys, I was like, this thing is crazy. Crazy, bro. Took awards. Hey, bro. How's life at this point?
Oh, it's
how's life?
rough,
How old
bro.
are you at this time?
Yo, I mean, it was a rough, bro. I was on the phone with a friend of mine who shot a lot of my videos. His name is Tepo D. He's from Botswana, and he was talking about this documentary that we shot called The Motswako Originator, and he was like, "Bro, do you remember that? Before we shot that, you wanted to go home, or matter of fact, you were gonna shoot that." And you were gonna go back home. That was the last thing you wanted to do because you were done with this thing. It was tough, right? Not only going solo was like my worst fear because I came up 10 deep with these guys. I mean, we were running for about probably 10 years before we dropped our first album as a group, right? Imagine the patience, right? And then second album drops. Second album, when the second album dropped, it was around about that Motherland Crunk era was coming in, things are shifting. And then it was my bros who decided, yo, we think you should go solo because nobody will ever see that coming, right?
What?
Yeah, and if you go run those tapes, but in that group, I mean, the interviews, I was the quiet one. I never used to say a word. I was very shy, I was very, in the background. I would only come alive when we perform, So first album was really tough. That's, you're getting evicted from place to place. You're crashing on couches. You're crashing in cars, You're crashing at a baddies. Yes,
You broke but you have game. I can relate.
You broke, but you gotta have game if you broke.
Sure.
So it means you're always hitching rides, and that was tough, man, because there's nothing far more worse than when you're becoming popular and you're still taking taxis. So you hit that level, you're like, nah, man, this thing is not adding up, but it sharpened me. It made me tough. It made me more creative as a business, and that's how I became an entrepreneur. That's how I became an independent label because the major labels are turning you down. Nobody really believed in hip hop, because it wasn't selling. It wasn't selling records, Yeah.
Pioneering.
Oh, dude.
The album, it drops now. You've just told us all the hardships,
Yeah.
what's going through your mind, the bookings are coming in, the money is coming in. Bro, what's happening in your life right now? Take us through because I can, from outside looking in, to us, you are living the dream.
The shift was ridiculous. When you drop a song like No More Hunger, and your first car is a convertible.
Hey!
And you've got an apartment in Lone Hill, 4 ways, and you're doing like 4 or 5 gigs a night. I remember being out here in Eswatini for the first time. I think we did a show called Hipnotik.
Yeah, shout out Hipnotik!
And these guys gave me a pair of Air Jordans before we jumped on stage. I was like, we up. I was here with Keenan. I was here with Keenan Forbes. Rest in peace.
AK.
Long live.
Shout out.
Yeah. And yeah, man, that was the best time of my life is watching that shift. I remember waking up in that apartment, but I was teary-eyed, laughing my ass off because I knew, I knew like I appreciated more because of all the struggles, you know what I'm saying? And all the shit that was about to go down in there. You know what I mean? Because it's like, finally I had my own pad. I had never had my own place. Yeah. My own. Like, I'm not talking sharing with dudes and so gonna come stay over for a couple days. Nah, it was just like, Yeah, so it was amazing, man. The tours, bro. I don't think my come up is probably one of the best, stories. Like, especially for the guys that seen it. You know?
For sure.
Yeah. Like my friend I was telling you about earlier on was on the phone. He's like, Joe, I've never seen a come up like yours because it went from 0 to 100.
We didn't know it, but we saw it on TV. We were taking the awards. I remember. I trust me when I say I remember because I've always followed hip hop, and I'm like, I'd watch the awards, and I'd be like, Khuli Chana is like, and at that time, I think I was in primary and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, bro, that happened. Fast forward, I want us to get to the business side of things because, like he's saying, I feel like I might be wrong, but I feel like you didn't like the spotlight. I don't know. Like I'm saying, as a fan of the culture,
Yeah.
I never see, you were always out of the way. You
Yeah.
never see Khuli like we were saying in interviews. You
Yeah.
never see Khuli maybe in beefs. You never
Yeah.
see Khuli. You've always been about the bag. When you see Khuli, there's an endorsement going on or something. And I've always appreciated that. And then you disappear.
Yeah.
Absolut came.
Yeah.
And I want us to talk about Absolut because I want you to teach us, bro. I want this to be a teachable moment for us as to when the fame comes and the money comes, how do you just have that whoosah moment and just take things in and maintain the pace, be composed and still make boss moves and still be good at what you do. So Absolut, the deal came. By the way, I heard before we get to, I heard WHP was the first hip hop artist to have an endorsement from was it Status?
Jabba set the bar.
Shut up.
Jabba set the bar. So the brand deals definitely with Jabba. I remember Jabba did something with, was it Steamroll or Halls? I think it was Halls. And then it was Miller. And then he did Status. And then he did a bunch, right? But what I learned from Jabba was his people skills, his humility, right? So he treated people the same, from the superstar to the cleaning lady to the corporate guy. You know what I mean? And he was a likable dude, But he just, and in that, what I learned is people never forget how you made them feel, bro. People forget what you say, but people never forget how you made them feel, right? So you meet a guy today, you make him feel good about himself or whatever. A couple years down the line, this guy's brand manager of Don, and boom, here we are, And for me, I think that gives you longevity in the game, right? To have some humility, right? And yeah, so I got that thing from Jabba, right? But I also had a great management team behind me, right? Who gave me just etiquette, just how to move in the boardrooms, how to move in a room full of vultures. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. How to also carry yourself like a business. You know what I mean? Be on time. You know, it's like little small shit like that really goes a long way. Being on time. So, the gig is at 12. How, gents, why are we here at 10:30? I didn't get that stuff in the beginning from Refulo and Khausa, but it paid off big time. Because here's what happens. People in corporate want to work with people that are reliable, period. It's not even about the charts. It's like you could be #1 on the charts, but if you are unreliable, hard to work with, I'd rather go with the guy that they know is a sure thing. This guy's we're not only gonna get our value, he's gonna be on time. You know what I mean? Because there's so much that is running on this, on this thing. There's so many people, could lose jobs when it comes to when you play in that corporate space. All you see as an artist is just like how we're doing an ad. But if you mess it up, you're messing it up for a whole company. There's a bunch of people, So, it's just small things I learned early that became a winning formula for me. Yeah.
How big was the deal? Take us to the deal now. Absolutely. How much coins did you make there? How much coins?
No, the coins were really nice. The coins were very nice. Very nice, man. You know, man, the brand deals are amazing because I mean, you locked in for like 12 to 24 months or more in a deal. So you know, you don't have to rely on gig money. You know what I'm saying? And because you know, part of the deal, you know, comes with shows. You know, so I mean, from a brand deal, you're making money from your image rights. You've got the sync deal, that's your music playing on the ad. Then they'll throw in the, you know, now it's obviously the, you know, the social media engagement. Then you've got another check coming for what? Appearances, that's your shows. And then there'll be these random ones. Oh, sorry, B, we just need you for this one thing, but invoice, more money, you know. So, you know, and what's great about that is like you're working with this brand manager, and eventually he's gonna move to another company, and you might get another bag over there, depending on what brand he's working on. But for me, yo, man, it's just a very interesting world, you know, to play in. I mean, with Absolut, we won one of the biggest awards at Cannes Festival. I hope you get to experience this someday, and I know you will. Right?
Shut up.
I know you will. So, and you know, Cannes Festival, it's a film festival, but you've got the advertising world over there, music. I mean, I saw Future over there. I met Wyclef, Steve Stout. You know, some of these big Hollywood names and music as well. And you know, those are the experiences that I take from that Absolut, you know, deal, you know. Outside of the coins, the many coins we made from that, it was just the exposure I got from it, you know what I mean? Yeah.
So now, bro, every time you guys would jump on a song with AKA Classic.
Yeah.
How did you guys do that? I had to ask, and you know, I wanted to thank you. You know why I wanted to thank you?
Yeah.
My favorite song, and I'm not even lying, from Kinnan's last album, Skrada.
Oh.
And I want to thank you all for giving us the banger one last time. Because like I'm saying, as a fan of the culture, I remember from the back then when you do the I Want It All to the songs, you'd make, you and AK were supposed to make a joint album, and I'm not even lying. Every song that you guys would drop as a hit.
That was his plan. I mean, that was like, maybe after his first album, he wanted us to drop a collab album called Twak the Throne. Twak the Throne. I was like, nah.
That's crazy.
So, and because I mean, then we were doing joints, we were working together a lot. We were in the studio a lot. I mean, there's so many songs that I've been on that I had to remove myself from because it was just like, yo, are you ever gonna have a single on your own, bro? Like, you know, originally I was on Jealousy. If you listen, go listen to it. Go listen to the hook. You're gonna pick up my voice, right? And it was just like, yo, Keenan's got to do his thing now, you know. And I mean, even my first time out here in Swatini, I was here with him. When we got free kicks, it was me and Keenan, right?
Yeah.
And it's crazy you say one last time because that's exactly what he said.
What?
Yeah. That's exactly what he said. He's like, bro, one last time, bro. I know they're yearning for it. Right? And I think I had that beat for like 6 to 7 months.
Oh, that was your beat?
No. He sent it to me.
Oh, he sent it to you, okay.
He sent it to me and I was just like, bro, where do we go with this? He also sent me the what's the joint?
Then you said La Piquins and 40.
The joint with Nasty. What's Lemonade?
Lemons Lemonade.
Yeah. He said it was that, and it was the Prada beat, but I was leaning on the Prada beat, and I didn't know what to say, right? And he calls me because Keenan will call you like 3, 4 a.m. in the morning. Yeah. Calls you 3, in the morning and he's rapping to you and you gotta sit through it. Nobody loved this shit like Keenan did, right? Nobody had more passion. And he's like, dog, I just want you to talk about your life now. You know, you in your 40s, you living nice. You don't even have to gig as much as you used to. But, you know, I marvel at, like, how you live and how you carry yourself. Just put your life on wax, you know? Just talk about where you are right now. And that's what inspired the verse. Crazy. Yeah, crazy. Yeah, crazy. And Keenan is also the type of guy that if the verses pop, he will let you know.
Let you know.
And I was
My
like,
brother, you can do it.
so I was like, yo, it's gotta be one take. Because I don't want to deal with that version of Keenan, right? Yeah. I was like, I gotta smack this thing out the park once and one time only. Yeah, and you know, that's what birthed the verse.
Yo, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough. I promise I'm taking it easy so that we can wrap it up, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But I was thinking about this thing when this morning. I was thinking, it's okay, yeah, I'm going to have a chat with Khuli. But then I was like, bro, I'm realizing Khuli is 14, eh?
Yeah.
Kenan passed away, fortunately. Less stroke, speedy recovery to less.
Yeah.
Mojeba, all of the things that's been happening with hip hop, Boriki.
Yeah.
Then I'm thinking of the story.
Yeah.
The almost, the unfortunate situation that happens with you, the shooting and everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bro, I'm like,
yeah.
How like is this, bro? Still trying going so yeah, healthy.
Yeah.
In 2013, it could have been cool.
Yeah.
Take us through that experience, bro. How what's happening? How does it feel, bro? How many 16 was it 16 shots? What's if
like this is a podcast moment we almost never had. Right?
Yeah. Imagine, bro.
So when you start to lose friends and brothers in the in the movement, you then start to appreciate life. Because I mean that thing happened, but it was so hectic, bro, that I don't think I had even time to reflect on it. There was so much adrenaline that, because the shooting happens and then it becomes this big media spectacle. And then it's just like, then it's court cases, then it's the trauma. And then you're going through a period where you feel like you're losing your mind, where you feel like you're being followed, your phone is being tabbed. then it's dark, then I'm isolated, then I'm trying to, come back in the music, but it's, it doesn't feel the same. But I remember my first show was in Botswana. Botswana is a very special place, very special to my heart. It's a place where when Motswako wasn't popping, even back at home, I'm like, nobody was feeling this. Botswana took it and they owned it and they made it theirs.
Kespa once said something like that.
Yeah. So we started charting in Botswana before anywhere else. So first show was in Botswana at a place called Kanye West. Real talk. Anyway, so and then we did Maftown Heights. But yeah, man, that was a very tough part of my life. You find out you have churches trying to recruit you.
Yeah. What?
Because they're like going, we could make some serious coins with this guy.
Bro.
You know what I mean?
Bro.
Yeah, I'm real
talk. Serious right now.
Real talk. You get approached. Yeah. Because you're the miracle guy. You know what I mean? And also when you go through a near-death experience, you get to a point where you go, so what's supposed to happen now? Now that I made it, do I become like a deep spiritual brew who's gonna now change people's lives? Do I leave the music? Do I carry on? What am I supposed to do with it? It's a heavy burden because you've been given another chance to live. You know what I mean? So it was tough, but yo, I'm glad I made it.
Shout out.
I'm glad I made it.
Shout out.
Some of the, I'll tell you this, Joe. You know, the best gifts of life come wrapped in sandpaper. It's like you're gonna go through a crazy storm, and then there's gonna be sunshine, and then now you're gonna appreciate life. Period. Because here's the thing. Here's what happens when you think you're about to die. Not in these LV kicks or the Aston Martin I was driving at the time. None of that stuff matters. All you want is to live. Because there's a moment, right? After they shot at the car, it was about 9 times. And then it was just blood and glass everywhere. They're over there. Now I'm screaming. And I'm saying, it's Khuli Chana, don't shoot. Or what? And I'm saying, yo, just give me the chance to step out the car so you can see who it is. Yo. And they go, turn around, don't look at us, walk backwards. In that moment, a couple seconds where you go, this is it. And all you're praying for, all you're wishing for is life. That's how precious life is. Like, just that. Just all I want is life now. Not money, not nothing, just life. Yo. Right? My daughter's about 3 months at the time. I'm going, shit, damn, this is how we going out. And I'm not a problematic guy, bro. I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, yo, this is wild. This is how we going out. And I'm going, shit, but you know, maybe I flew too close to the sun. Maybe I became too big. I don't know. And yeah, so yeah, that was tough, but it taught me how precious life is, you know, and how some of the things that we think are important, are valuable, aren't until that moment. Until you've had that moment, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But you know, shout out to Elias is coming back. Yeah, I was on the phone with him the other day. That shook me. It hurt me because he's one of the nicest dudes. He has you know, like, when you know Leslie Mambe, the Les, and you get to know him, he has a beautiful heart. Because he's one of those guys, when I was going through that traumatic, you know, period, who let me into his home and record a bunch of joints. Because at the time I was so uninspired, you know, and you used to say, yo, Papito, just come to the crib, bring a Henny. You know, come over, you know, chill at Les. Everybody's out there. You see Muesli. You see everybody jumps in the booth, you know, spit a few bars. Before you know it, it's a song, you know. So, yeah, I'm happy Leslie, you know, is finally recovering. You know, losing Keenan that was heavy. Because, yeah, I mean, that's a guy who literally kept me breathing at a time when I wasn't dropping. I mean, nobody has shout out my name on records like Keenan has, like Keenan did. You know what I'm saying? So Ricky reached out to me for that last Cotton Fest, you know? That was a moment I was looking forward to that. And just sadly before that, then he passed on. But you know, I felt so honored that he called me and booked me for that Cotton Fest, you know, moment. Yeah, and Jabba is my guardian angel, you know? Yeah, so, yeah, but it's a scary time, bro. There's only a few of us left. Yeah.
Yo, bro, and the energy you guys have, I don't know if you guys just pass it to the upcoming generation, bro, because you guys, like, we're out here sitting with you and you can feel the person being authentic, that okay, this is a human being having a heartfelt conversation and all of that. But like, hey, the youngins that are coming up with the mentality, it goes here, it's got to their heads, man. You can tell the way they move, the way they dress.
Yeah.
Heavy people around them, entourage is crazy. So hey, spread the word.
You know what? I'll keep it a buck. when we were young, we had some OGs also saying, adisiras. You know what I'm saying? What I mean is that we were also a little reckless when we were younger, bro.
Y'all guys were principles,
no, but I'm saying everybody eventually kind of grows into themselves. You know what I mean? Yeah, some brews, you can tell from a mile away.
Yeah.
You're going nowhere. I can tell you. I can tell you. The guys from a mile away, I'm like, give it about 2 years. It's a wrap, right? And the guys who are gonna be around long. You know what I mean? And let me tell you. And here's what happens: the entourage gets smaller, right? It gets smaller over the years. A guy who's rolling 10 deep is going to be down to 2 cats. You know what I'm saying? Because once this thing takes, new life form and becomes a business, things change. Relationships change, love changes, best friends become strangers. Yeah,
bro.
So... Yeah, but I'm really excited about. There's a couple, I'll tell you for myself. Like, I'll speak for myself. The respect that I get from the youngins is fucking amazing.
Love Chana, bro.
Like, I get love, bro. I get, I met the Kwelas about, I'd say maybe a few months back, and we ran into each other at that BAL shoot. The basketball thing with K-Easy, and just the love I get from these owns is just like, it's amazing. You know what I mean? I'm not a bitter OG, bro.
Yeah, but it's how you carry yourself, bro.
And I'm blessed for that. You know what I'm saying? And this is all the way to the best one out. I get love.
My bro, it's how you carry yourself. Like he said, you got it from the best.
Yeah.
You remember when we were in Rossbank, went to buy some stuff at what's the store where there's Boys of Soweto and all of that. Egg. I'm at Egg there, and I'm just going through the stuff. I'm talking to the bro. I'm like, how's business going? He tells me about you. He's like, we're having a conversation, and this such an yo, bro. You can't make this thing up, bro. You can't make this shit up. We're having a conversation about you inside the store. We're planning on buying there. He's like, nah, Buganje right now. Khuli Chana was here, not so long ago. Came and charged his phone. We are having a deep conversation. Cool guy, and I'm like, yeah. So imagine, look at this now, and I'm going to show them blue. I'm going to respect. I'm showing this blue at the time. I'm like, look, I was with Khuli, bro. So I'm saying the respect you earn it, bro. It's something that's you walk with. When I say to you, I've never seen you in drama. I've never seen you in beefs and all of that. You've always been known for span.
Yeah.
What you good at.
Thank you, bro.
Maftown Heights. What's happening?
Maftown Heights is back. The reunion was last year. My homie Zox was out there.
Shout out.
Yeah. We're coming back again this year. Reinventing, And here's another thing, and just to the youngings and stay about youngings and OGs. Anyone, everyone. Yeah. But here's the thing, right? So after we dropped that Motok Originator, just before, somewhere in between Motok Originator and dropping my second album, I had this deep need to create a festival. Yeah. And it's like, people usually do that on their third, fourth album. You've got mad experience in the game, you've got skin in the game. And I have to say, Maftown Heights is just one of those things that gave me longevity in the game. So if you come in the game, don't just come to be a taker. Serve the game, and it'll give you longevity. You get what I'm saying? So when you come in as a servant, you will never run dry. So put on others, right? So, from the first Maftown Heights, that's 2010, I remember we had your vest at the time, he's like Jabba's hype man.
Had the ponytail at that time.
Ponytail, Cass. It's like, that means I just want to rock 2 joints. And to Casper closing Maftown Heights in 2014. That's how quickly time flies.
Crazy.
And he's like the most expensive act at the time. You know, from a measly 2.5 or 1.5 that we gave him at the time to, I saw Aries came up on that stage, Shane Eagle came up on that stage, a bunch, right? And I have to say that's just one of God's like through pass, you know, where it's just like, snap, okay, cool, maybe it's not so much about being the biggest superstar, but you could be the guy who creates the platforms. And that way, man, it's kept me going for many years. So even when there's no hit song, it's just like, I still get bread, you know? Because you know, you put on so many people, you know what I mean? You serve, so it's gonna keep giving back to you.
What can we expect from this one that's coming?
Definitely some music, bro. Definitely some music. Definitely some music.
Guys, we're going up to Maftown Heights.
Yeah. So yeah, Maftown Heights coming back, and new music from yours truly, Khuli Chana.
Thank you.
New music from Morafi.
Thank you.
Some music with Madlera Doughboy.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think this next run is gonna be an epic run, bro, because I think people haven't seen that kind of run from me in a long time, you know? But I feel like I'm at a point where
Life begins at 40, I'm still saying.
it feels like we are right back at the beginning of this thing, right? But yeah, you know, and shout out to Ori Flame. You know, we've got a big conference happening in Portugal. Looking forward to that. And I'm off to the US also doing on my, you know, leadership mission, and a program I'll be doing on just learning how to become a better leader. We'll chat about, I can't talk much about it right now, but you know, I feel like my ducks are now in a row. I can get back to the thing that put me at the top. You know, I can get back to the music now. The business is good. The business is safe. It's in safe hands. It's time for me to get back to it. You feel me?
What are you up to with Zox? You said you must mention what's a peculiar. What are you up to with Zox?
A peculiar people.
Yes, a peculiar people.
Yeah. No, Zox is my guy, man, and I think and shout out to Zox for this.
Shout out.
For this pivot, for this shift that he's made. You know, yeah. I mean, we came up around about the same time. He was just the promoter to who and what he is today, and what he's built is amazing. You know what I mean? So yeah, there's some things we're working on. You know, reason why I came down here to see him, some business, but you know, we respect you. Got mad love for you. Yeah.
Django.
Sharp.
Thanks, she.
I hope we've covered.
See what you ring there.
Hey, time. You said the time. Hey.
Was an hour's crack.
Yeah.
Yeah, he pushed for us. Please, let's take a picture. Khuli.